All right, this will conclude my presentation, but in conclusion with my presentation, I wanted to I did this interview with my mom. Now I want her to share with you all a few words. We went over her decision to move into an assisted living facility, the process that she had to go through to find assisted living facility that's suitable to her, the cost of living in these care facilities and the type of care that she receives, and also the importance of chaplaincy and chaplains visiting with residents, and also and her personal advice to those who want or who are making a decision to either move into an assisted living facility or a nursing home. So before we close out this presentation, we'll just have a few words from her. Okay. All right, Mom, I want to thank you, first of all, for participating and supporting me as I do my recertification presentation and to be recertified as a board certified clinical chaplain and a pastoral counselor for 2025. So once again, thank you for answering these questions to give other chaplains an understanding of what residents go through and how important it is for us to visit and listen and care for them. And so, what are your closing remarks on your experience as a resident in an assisted living facility?
My feelings about being here at Watercress Assisted Facility in Columbia I have had mixed emotions, but in my time of need, this place was available. And I appreciate them accepting me as a new resident. I made a decision to come here because of my late husband. Exploration left me as a widow at home alone. And because of my condition, I was not able to live alone and take care of my needs, my personal needs. So this place was available and I was accepted. And I came here in May the 28th, 2021. And I have been a full-time resident ever since. Now, making a choice, my daughter and I visited at least 3 other facilities. And we both came to the decision that this was a nice place to be. Assisted living versus nursing homes. The expense of living in an assisted living. Now, if you're planning to come to an assisted living facility, make sure the amount of money that you have that you can spend is equivalent to what it's going to cost you. Now, in a nursing home, I was told that Medicare, Medicaid, and other insurance companies will take care of the expense. The need for a chaplain, I find it to be very important. The chaplain that used to come visit me as part of hospice care was valuable. We had so much in common because we both were chaplains. So we could communicate meaningfully each time she visited. And she has visited as much as twice a week. Okay.
And now that you're no longer with that hospice care service, you're not receiving chaplaincy services right now.
No, I am not. And that's left me with a void. But we do have people coming in from different churches, and that's filling in the gap. And some are very good.
Okay. So that makes a big difference as long as you're receiving some type of spiritual care or spiritual services.
Yes, it does.
That's all fulfilling.
Yes, it is.
Okay. And also, to what insight would you like to give other chaplains regarding the type of care that you receive in the assisted living facility?
Well, the biggest thing that I was taught when I came along as a chaplain, have a listening ear, be compassionate, understanding. We were also encouraged not to carry a Bible, but yet the Bible is so instilled in us until we share sometime from the Word of God. Now, chaplains really made a difference in my life when she was coming. I felt revived after she would leave, and seemed like I could go on for the rest of that day off of that high.
Did she bring a Bible?
No, she never brought a Bible with her.
Did you all talk about the Bible?
Yes, we did. And there were often scriptures quoted appropriate for what we were actually discussing or doing.
Okay. And you also did prayers at the end of your sessions, your meetings?
Yes, we had a prayer at the end of the session, and I considered it to be her spiritual blessing because her prayers were so heartwarming and uplifting.
Okay. Now, another thing too, when it comes down to a person that have to make a decision to move into an assisted living facility, as you have here what they call RCS, Resident Care Specialists, also known as caregivers. Now, how can you share with others and somewhat what to expect nowadays with these caregivers?
Okay. With the new generation working now, you have to really be accepting, and you have to just know that you may not get what you expect, but you still have to show some appreciation. And you really have to be careful with the new generation. You have to accept them for who they truly are, because they are not from the old school, and their lives are different.
Mm-hmm.
They think different and they react different.
It makes your stay here difficult at times.
It does. It makes it where you feel like you're not welcome, that you're wasting your time and your money. But you have to look beyond that. You have to think about your needs, not your wants.
But the good caregivers, they compensate from the lack of work ethics from the other ones, or the younger ones.
Yes, they do. You look forward to the time that they are assigned to the space where you are located. You really want to hold on to them and wish they had time to spend longer with you. But usually they have to keep in mind the care of other residents.
That's
and
right.
they can't just lag around.
That's right, because when you first moved here, it was like 10 or 11 of you here,
Yes,
on this side versus memory care.
right.
And now the facility is practically full.
Practically full on this side through to the third floor.
Mm-hmm.
And in memory care, I was told that they had one room some time ago vacant, and they could be full by now.
Okay. And so, what can you say about the money that you all spend here?
I think it's quite expensive,
Mm-hmm.
and it would be okay if the caregiving was a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I understand the expenses to run the place,
Mm-hmm.
but we have to spend a lot for the caregiving as well.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you once again for doing this presentation with me. And any closing words that you may have for chaplains?
Be kind, be courageous, be who you are, and show the love of Jesus in your life. That should make residents feel better in seeing you come and hating to see you go.
And you mentioned something also too about being a listening ear.
Yeah, a listening ear too, caring
Mm-hmm.
and showing that you care, paying attention
Mm-hmm.
means a lot, and not watching your watch or being impatient in any way. Don't let that come out of your voice.
Well, that's very beneficial information. Very beneficial information when it comes down to people in the future who will have to look for assisted living facilities versus a nursing home, because they will know the difference. The family will know what facility and what care their loved ones will need and what facility they will have to choose. And also to thank you for sharing for the encouragement and the advice for chaplains as well. So we would have a better understanding on really how residents feel when it comes down to chaplaincy services and how important it is to their emotional and spiritual needs. So thank you very much for helping me with my recertification presentation.